Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Entrepreneurial Truth Podcast. My guest this week is Lygya. She has a unique combination of Amazonian shamanic intuition and American coaching expertise to help people adopt spontaneous, fun-loving attitudes that will erase stress and inject passion into your professional and personal life. She is a former coach with the Anthony Robbins Company. She's also a charismatic speaker in her own right. She's also been featured in magazines such as Vanity Fair, Essence, Dance, New Life, and Creations. Welcome to the show, Maya. How are
Hey,
you?
I'm doing great. What about you?
I'm doing really good. Tell me where you're from.
I'm from Brazil. That's where this
Wow.
accent comes from.
Wow. See, I love that. I love that we get people from all over the world on this show, and I wanted to highlight that at the first part here. Now, it says that you have done, like, you've been in magazines, done, so what else have you done? I shortened your bio, so I wanted to make sure that I got everything in there.
It's a lot of stuff,
It's a
man.
lot of stuff.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I did was having a dance company in New York City that was in places like Radio City Music Hall
In New
with Tito
York.
Puentes and Celia Cruz. We performed at Lincoln Center. We performed at Carnegie Hall. We were hot in New York
Yeah.
City. Yeah.
Carnegie Hall.
And
Holy
yes,
cow.
Carnegie Hall. Yeah, and we had tons of articles in the New York Times.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, we were on live TVs, on news TVs. My dance classes were like happening, you know.
Wow.
We had like musicians, like a band. In my dance classes, we had more than 80 people in a dance floor. It was amazing.
Wow. This sounds like
Yeah.
such a good time too. Just
It
having fun. And
was. It was. It was so much fun.
okay,
Yeah.
so what other things have you done that people might know you for, or things like that?
Well, one of the other things that was the highlight of my life was that I worked for the man, for the guru of self-development in the world, which is Tony Robbins.
Hmm.
I worked with him on the road for 3 years, traveling all over, uh, and helping hundreds of people to be unstoppable.
Oh, that's amazing. So you actually worked with Tony Robbins himself.
Yes, I did.
Ooh. Oh, that's amazing. That is
Yes.
amazing.
Yes,
So
yes.
you're living. Oh, hold on. I'm going to be blind. This is part of the show, so I have
Okay.
to take the glasses off because that glare off those lights is something. Anyway, there we go. So it just seems amazing. You've done all these things and been featured in magazines and all of this stuff. Um, but what is the most fulfilling thing that you've ever done? Not the maybe it's not the most exciting or whatever. What's the most fulfilling thing?
Fulfilling thing, well, I don't have the most.
Okay.
I have a few. One of them is dancing because the dancing was a therapy to me.
Mm.
And also the fact that I was so happy dancing, and I still am. Whenever I dance, I'm the happiest human being you can see. Uh, I reflect that in people. People start smiling.
Mhm.
And when I used to teach dance and I used to see the happiness in the face of my people, in the face of my students, that was very fulfilling to me.
That's awesome.
And yeah, and then when I changed my career for healing, when I
Mhm.
became a therapist, a
Mhm.
holistic therapist, and I started to do hypnosis and Reiki and all kinds of energetic work, that was fulfilling because I was helping people to unblock their emotions and to help their mindset to be in the right place. That was very fulfilling. It still is
Mm.
today.
Yeah. You do a great
Yeah.
job with that too. I know personally.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so you know what I mean.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, and
I'm
that's
gonna
very
ask.
fulfilling to me.
I'm gonna ask, and I usually ask this first, but we had talked a little bit before, so I wanted to ask the other questions first. Usually, my first question to everybody is, "What lit the fire for you? What made you want to become an entrepreneur?"
Holy moly. I love to be entrepreneur because I'm a crazy woman. That's why.
Okay. I'm going with that one.
Because I love challenges, you know,
Mhm.
and I love to be creative. And because I came back to Brazil after 29 years outside of my country, I had to make sure that I would be working actively at home because I have my mother to take care of. She became a
Yeah.
widow,
Mhm.
and I'm the only child, and I have to take care of her. So I'm not going to be home with my arms crossed, seeing life goes by. I had to
Right.
do something, and the
Yes.
computer and to be online was to be in connection with the world,
That's
and
really, really
and
something.
that's what I had to do. So
Yeah.
here I am, entrepreneur, working online, and get things done. My
Y-
mission has to be accomplished.
What is your mission?
My mission is to help people um, to overcome lack of confidence,
Mm,
fears,
mm,
and be what they were born to be.
mm.
Um,
That's deep.
that's it. In simple words, in short, this is what it is.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing. I'm going to ask you this too. Did you ever have anything, either externally or internally, that kind of held you back for a while in your coming up to be where you are today?
Many things. I had all the problems you can think of. We all do. We all have
Hmm.
problems.
Hmm.
And how we face those problems with the solutions is what matters. And I was good at that. I always want to see the solution when I see a problem before I let the problem gets into me.
Mm,
Uh, and that
that's
was an
good.
example that I learned from my mother, because my mother used to be, at least, pessimistic person.
Mm,
And I saw she always nagging and being negative, and that was the example for me. It served as an example for me not to be.
oh, yeah.
And yeah, so I said, that's not what I want to be, and that's not what I am. So let's get to the solution of the matter. And I always created that because I was always focused on that.
So you were creating um, your own reality.
Yeah, yeah. That's what, when we are optimistic people and when we have high vibrations, that's how we go about. We go about not letting the negative overcome the positive.
Mm,
That's
absolutely.
very important.
That's very important. I agree with you.
Yeah.
So I know that you said you went through some things. I mean, it's up to you if you want to go into them or not. If you don't, we can move on due to something else. It's fine. It's totally fine. But for the purpose of this show is to have other people to see the struggles and the roadblocks and the things that people go through, and then so they can identify and get over those things. So I was going to ask you if you wanted to go into anything, maybe even one thing that specifically that held you back for a time.
What hold me back that comes to mind was I was even sharing that today in my live, my group, that I used to be so in love with my dad, with my
Mm.
father,
Mhm.
and we we were not we were not the best relationship to describe, because he was a man that didn't know how to love because he was not loved.
Mm.
And I resented that for many, 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 many years. The fact that he deserted my mother and I, and we became homeless, and that was a sad story there. And I resent that. for many years. So I decided to forget about it, forget about him, period. So I would not speak about him. I would not tell his name. I would not even think about his existence. And the fact that I was numb in relation to love of my father made me numb in relation to my relationships. My romantic relationships were always not the best you can think of. Was always something missing. I was always feeling rejected by my partners. And because of that, I had to come up with a solution in order to have that end, you know.
Yeah.
And but it took me a long time to get over it. A long time. And eventually the therapy that I did, most of the therapies, I did many therapies in order to unblock that kind of emotional accumulation, because we feel emotions, and if we don't release them, we block them and we become volcanic. I call volcanic people. We keep the emotions, we don't release them when we're kids. And then when we grow up, if someone say or look or sound anything like what target that pain, that emotional pain that you felt and you didn't release, it can be an explosion. That's why
it triggers it.
Yeah, it triggered it. Yeah. So that's why we have to take care of things that happened in the past in order to keep on going, in order to clean the house.
Right. Get that stuff out.
Yeah, recycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. And I think people will resonate with that. I think people will really get that. And that's something we haven't had on the show before, I don't think, is resentment. I don't think that's been something that we've had on here before. And it's good to talk about forgiveness and what it does for you, and how releasing that anger and pain and all that stuff will help you move on as an individual and get you unstuck in your business as well.
Yeah. And one of the things that you can do if it's too hard, because for some people it's too hard, you have to really want to forgive. And you need help. If you feel that it's too difficult, you need help.
Yes.
So one of the most powerful things I did for me, and for your audience it can be also, is to seek for help, is to allow your when you are exposed, how you call
Vulnerable.
Vulnerability. Vulnerability is one of the most powerful things we can do when we allow someone to help you. And that's why the profession, the coaching professional, the hypnotherapist, the healers are growing more and more and more in huge numbers, because there is a lot of light beings on this earth at this time to make a difference.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I also see, and I don't know if you see this because you're in a different country. In our country, we have a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, depression. I mean, I'm 50 years old, and in my childhood, I didn't see this much of, anxiety, depression. People can't even order from a restaurant, because they're so terrified of talking to anyone, all these things. I didn't really see that when I was a kid, and now it's prevalent. Do you think that because of the need, the light workers are being raised up because of that need?
Yeah. It's very rare you see someone that had a perfect life since the child, and be in synchrony, in synchronicity with this type of work. Why? Because you cannot relate. If you cannot relate to suffering, if you cannot relate to sadness, if you cannot relate to anger, how can you feel? how can you understand feeling wise? You can't. You
No,
cannot
you
explain
can't.
emotions.
Right.
You can feel them, and then you can say, yeah, I can understand you because I felt the way you feel.
Mm-hmm.
Then we
Mm-hmm.
can connect in that
Yes.
way. It's an
I understand that.
energetic connection,
Yes.
but it's not analytical at all. Emotions are not be explained if you don't feel the emotions you're talking about. You cannot explain love to somebody that never felt love.
That's true. That's true. Awfully difficult emotion to
No,
quantify.
you can't.
Right.
It's not a scientific thing. It's a vibrational thing. Emotions are
Right.
vibrations.
Right.
You cannot explain vibrations.
It's true.
You can feel them. That's how you understand another. That's why we can cry in a movie, because we see the story. You can relate to that story. Therefore, you cry.
And you connect emotionally.
Exactly.
Wow. Yeah, that's true. We do. And we connect with other human beings that way too.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, I mean, there's an energy between us, because we've talked before. I did a Facebook Live in your group, outstanding group, by the way. Tell us your group one more time, because I want to make sure that people hear that. I'm going to put a link to it underneath the show.
The name is The Good Enough Entrepreneur Connection.
Nice. The Good Enough Entrepreneur Connection. It is a good group too. I'm in that group, so I know.
I do my best to entertain you guys, to give a
Value.
boost of,
Yes.
mindset,
Yeah.
have fun,
Yeah. That's
because
true
we have a
too.
lot of, we have to have fun. And eventually go to the letters. I'm going to give free seminars, not free seminars, but
Right.
webinars,
Right.
to make sure that the tribe is growing, evolving, and getting where they want to get, because we all deserve to be where we want to be.
Yes. Yes, I agree with that. And I also think that we need to help each other to get there. I think it's a journey along the entrepreneurial journey is people with open hands. I view this as a weird view, but I view people with their hands out on both sides and a person stepping on hands like as a staircase. As all those hands are lifting that person up to where they need to be.
Yeah, that's a dream I have, that our group will be that group where we get to the point of helping each other, supporting each other. That would be great.
I agree. Yeah, and I think it's a good vision to have. Speaking of vision, I was going to talk to you a little bit about 2020, because 2020 is weird, because I had come up with this, and I'm probably not the only one, but I thought of it as 2020 vision, see, as an eyesight. So then I thought about what's my vision for 2020. So it's like 2020 vision as a little concept. So what do you see for 2020, either for you or for us as people, as entrepreneurs? I mean, just go with it. It'd be great.
Oh, I feel great about 2020. I got that vision. I have in the works putting some, wonderful work with you guys as group, supporting each other. I have the promotion of how we can work on the subconscious level, because a lot of us take for granted the world of the subconscious level. The schools don't explain, teachers don't explain about the subconscious level good enough.
I agree.
People don't talk about it. That's why most people are afraid of talking about the unknown.
Yes.
And I believe that this is where we're going towards evolution, is to tap into that world that is inside of us and is not being explored. So,
I have this thing, and it's for 2020. It's an interconnectedness. It's a thing where it's not just my thing or your thing or someone else's thing. It's our thing.
mm,
It's
mhm,
like your thing is my thing and my thing is your thing. And, whatever we do, it's, this community, your community, my community, they're all the same. Everybody's
mhm,
going for the same goal. So I
mhm,
see 2020 as a huge opportunity to be in synergy with every other entrepreneur we can find to raise up a tribe or I don't know what the term would be, but to raise up almost like a family type situation where we're all helping each other out, we're all giving each other a hand, we're all giving each other a hand up, and
mm,
someone's there when there's not just one person there when somebody falls. There's many people there, many hands,
mhm,
in there with
mhm.
that person, holding on to them, helping
Yeah.
you, helping me,
Mhm,
and I'm connecting with all these people, and they're just good people, Sean Irwin and Carrie Vickers, and just people that I talk to that I just love talking to. You are another one I love
mhm.
talking to.
Thank you.
So it's like we're as I'm kind of expanding this friends list or whatever this is. It just seems like it's interpersonal connections that
Mhm.
are going to be very important in 2020.
Yeah, definitely.
Just feel
I
that
agree.
energetically. I feel that. So
Mhm.
I don't know where that was going, but okay. So um, I've talked to you about what I don't know if this is going to pertain as well. We'll give it a shot. What sacrifices did you have to make to be able to be an entrepreneur, or did that just come naturally?
It came naturally to me
Hmm.
because I wanted to be in the beginning of my performing arts career. I want to be a journalist or a psychologist, and I became a dancer. My mother wants to die because she's
Right.
a dancer, but I was born to dance, and I followed my heart. So the question was what I had to sacrifice, right?
Yes.
Okay. So uh, when I went to travel the world, when I lived in United States, I lived in Europe, and I had to come back to Brazil every year to visit my parents. One one year was a very special year because my high intuition told me my mom was going to need me. And because I had so many lessons of not listening to my intuition, I don't know if you ever heard that voice telling you, don't do it, you go ahead and do it, just like a
Yes.
child do. Don't tell a child not to do something because the
Yes.
child will do.
Absolutely.
So I was that kind of child. And but once I came to Brazil and I felt that something humongous was going to happen, I obeyed. And I went back to United States. I got 7 luggages and I came to Brazil expecting that something was going to happen. And sure enough, maybe a few months later, maybe 8 months or so, my mother had to operate her heart.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I was here to help her. And then after she had an operation, in the heart, few months later, my stepfather died, and she was alone. And
Hmm.
here I was to take care of her, and I'm taking care of her up to this day. So the sacrifice was to leave my profession, my United States. It was time to leave. I felt that it was time to leave. And I don't consider that a big sacrifice. I think that I can I can live really well anywhere I go because life doesn't start from the outside world in my conception. It starts within me.
Yes.
Therefore, I can live anywhere I choose.
Yep.
I can make it happen.
Kind of like
So,
home is where the heart is.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that was my big thing about leaving everything. I left my apartment, my car, my everything I left behind and came to Brazil, talking about not being about being detached,
Mm.
from material things. I did. So
Just
I
left it
left
all
a lot of
behind.
things. Yeah, I did.
Wow. Just to listen to that voice that told you need to come home.
Yeah.
Wow.
And here I was for her twice.
Twice.
Yeah.
Wow. That's good. But it shows your heart too. It does.
Yeah. But it shows the intuition is really sharp.
Oh, I know that much. You're really good. People don't know this. I had a session with Maya, and it was very, very good, very deep, intense, and something that I learned a lot about myself, I think, from too. So I wanted to thank you publicly for that, by the way.
Oh, you're welcome.
That was awesome.
Yeah. And you were kind of skeptical in the beginning, remember?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know about hypnosis.
Yeah. Oh, I told everyone, I was thinking I was going to cluck like a chicken, which kind of would have been great and all, but funny and stuff. But I didn't want that.
Hypnosis says that's the hypnosis for entertainment.
Right. And then on this show, I'm hoping that Maya doesn't make me cluck like a chicken.
No, that don't do entertaining hypnosis. That's not my thing.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, the opposite.
Yes, it's healing. That. Yes, it's healing. And I think that because we have so many limiting beliefs and the things that easily kind of put us off the path and make us want to quit and make us cringe on the inside if we're trying to say go to another level, people like Maya are people that are out there to help you and to get you through those limiting beliefs and through the stuff that is weighing you down. So I wanted to recommend Maya for her healing coachings that she does.
Thank you.
I don't know if coaching is the right term. I don't have the terminology correct.
Yeah,
sure.
what I do so many things combined.
Right.
Because I put a package together. Yeah, no. That's, I use my talents and my skills depending on the situation. Right. If a person needs more coaching, I go for that. And my intuition tells me if I need to be the mentor, I will do that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I totally understand that. Mm-hmm. So if you were going to give advice to someone just starting out as an entrepreneur, this could be a two-part question. Or someone that is stuck and they just can't move forward in their business and they're about ready to give up. Those two individuals there, what advice would you give each one of those two people?
Okay. The first one, the one that is going to start as an entrepreneur, is start from within, not from the outside. Because a lot of people start in this profession thinking about the money they're going to make. There is a big chunk of dreams about to get rich. And you can be, it's no big deal about money. I have no problem about you being rich. I want to be rich myself. But you only is going to be fulfilled being rich is contributing to others. That's how you're going to be fulfilled, happy, rich person. You don't want to be rich and be miserable. That's not what you want, because that's only money. But if you make the money, contributing to people's lives to get better, you're going to be a happy camper.
I agree. And so
that's what you want, right?
For the person that's stuck.
The person that's stuck is stop everything you're doing. You're not doing correctly, obviously, otherwise you wouldn't be stuck. You start all over. And you start within.
Start within.
Ask the questions. Ask good questions to yourself. What it is that makes me the passionate entrepreneur that I wanted to be? Why did I start this? What is in my heart? Go for the heart, not the logical mind. A lot of people go to the logical and the analytical, and they just completely forget about the heart, the passion, the feeling, the emotions.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't detach yourself from that. Make a
Right.
package. Go for both. Ask the questions analytically and feel what is right for you.
Definitely. Definitely. And I think that like I said, coaching is helpful for someone that's stuck also, but looking deep within, that's powerful. That's very powerful,
because
Maya.
a lot of people just don't.
They don't. They don't. They think it's an analytical problem, a sales funnel problem, of this problem, of that, anything analytical, like you said. And it may not be. It may be you. You know?
Yeah, because one of the things that is missing on the education system is exactly the energy that we vibrate with. We attract what we think. A lot of people knows that. And a lot of people don't believe that. The logical people, the ones that deal more with the analytical part of the brain, they think that that's BS. You know,
they do.
That, to be all mushy, emotional, and blah, blah, blah. So you're negating the part of you. All of us have two parts of the brain. That's why the brain is divided. Our brain literally are divided.
Hemispheres,
in two parts.
Yes.
The analytical and the emotional.
That's right. That's right. And we really do ignore. We ignore half of it then.
Don't ignore yourself.
Right. Exactly.
Because something is going to be missing, and eventually you're going to have to catch up on it. Even when you die, a lot of people die regretting for not doing the things that they didn't do because they were afraid, because they were skeptical, or whatever.
And then they left things on the table.
Basically. Yeah. I don't want to regret of things that I didn't do. I prefer to regret with things that I did do, because then I learned, at least I learned. If I made the mistakes, I learned about them and I grew about them.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. When we do a search internally, sometimes that's scary stuff in there, and sometimes it's stuff that we don't want to see. So it's so easy to go into the analytical mind because there's a bit of protection there. Don't you think?
A lot of protection. Not a bit, a lot. People are just so used to be analytical. That's what the society takes you and guides you in school. The mathematics, geographic, the history, and all that. What about the emotions? Nobody talks about it.
They don't.
We are emotional beings. Hello?
Yeah, we are. We're spiritual beings, emotional beings.
But we don't talk about it.
We don't talk about
the spirituality, people are still talking about it because it's not so sensitive subject as emotions are.
Right. Because emotions can be raw.
Open up.
Yeah. They don't like to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And the emotions sometimes can be very raw. I mean, the inside of people, that things have happened to them and situations that change them forever. And they don't want to revisit that. And some people have tried to get rid of it. Some people have tried to, say, nope, I'm done with this. I'm over it. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, let's not talk about it. That's very common everywhere. Let's not talk about it. So you are avoiding something that is already inside you. When you say you don't want to talk about it, the problem is already there.
Yeah.
And if you don't talk about the problem, there is no way that you're going to find a solution.
That's true. Because you avoid it. You're avoiding the situation instead of taking it head on.
Right. So when we are hungry, what do?
Eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're feeling something that is not addressed, right, you're going to feel hungry for the rest of your life.
Yeah, unless you add it.
Unless you eat it, unless you
Yeah.
eat it, unless you
Yeah.
cook, go to shop, cook, treat yourself well. Give what your body is need, and treat yourself emotionally, because the emotions were created to help us to release vibrations and energy.
That's right. That's right. Tell me a little more. I mean, I know. Well, let's do it this way. Tell the listeners a little more about what you do specifically.
That's
Like,
a hard one,
no,
because
I mean for people.
for people,
Yeah.
I speak, I give it tips, I do the hypnotherapy, I do the Reiki energy for my clients. I do speak, the workshops that I have in mind to give. Sometimes I do it for free, sometimes I charge little. And I want to make sure that I am an inspiration. So I'm going to raise my standards. I used to charge very little money for what I offer. I know I'm good in what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm about to change that in 2020.
Yes. Good. Good.
And I'm going to change the name of my group. Today, I was having a session with one of my coaches, and I'm going to have to raise the bar. If I want to be an example of wealth, I got to be wealth.
Yes.
I cannot be thinking about how poor people are. They don't have any money.
That's called a scarcity mindset.
Exactly. I can be the example for that. I got to change that.
You got to change that.
So I'm going to change the name of the group for not the good enough, but the wealthy entrepreneur connection.
There you go. I like that. We're breaking news on our show today.
Yeah, that's a very breaking news. Yeah, I decided today, a few hours ago.
Because I think that right there is a limiting belief, because you have value that you give to people.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a and I was coached this too. So it was Sean Irwin. He told me about having an exchange of energy. Basically, it's like you exchange your knowledge and all that stuff, and it's just, and money is the other energy, but it's being exchanged, and so you price yourself at what you believe you are, and so it's a limiting belief to believe that you're only worth such and such an amount or whatever.
Exactly.
So saying that you're raising your prices is raising your vibration.
Yes, because you have to if I want to be a good example, I gotta walk my talk.
Mm-hmm.
And
I totally get that.
I cannot be a people's pleaser. That's what she called me. You are a people's pleaser. You want to please everybody. And that's a no good. Never go anywhere like that.
You and I are a lot alike in that respect.
Yeah, but I don't want to be that way anymore.
You don't want to be me. I had enough. You don't want to be me anymore. Okay.
No.
I got you. No, I'm kidding. But you know what I'm saying? No. I mean, we both are giving people, so I know that that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, I can give it to a certain extent, but not like I used to. Not 100%. Right.
You can't, though, because if you do, then you're devaluing you.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
And so to everyone out there, how do you put this? How much are you worth?
Oh, I know I'm priceless. Because
no. It was a question to the audience.
Oh, to the audience.
Yeah. How much are you guys worth? How much do you feel you're worth? And that's a big question on how much of a limiting belief that you might have inside of you. And I know that I do. I'm just telling you the truth. This is some of the things that I'm going through at this point. I have been going through. But to your point, Maya, I think that it is very encouraging to see what you're doing for 2020 with the changing the name, because I said that too. I think I said something about that. It's the good enough entrepreneur. You know.
Yeah, because I heard so many people talking about they were not feeling good enough.
I agree. No, totally
And I
agree
could
with that.
relate to that because I
Right.
used to think that way, that I was not good enough. And then I change it. And that's why I want people to recognize and to could relate to the title. Yeah, I'm good enough. I can be part of this group because I'm good enough.
That makes sense.
But that's not enough for me anymore.
Right, because the good enough, and maybe
it's already thinking about the good enough. They're not good enough.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Or just good enough is almost the connotation it gives to me. Like, we're just good enough to be here. We're not great or anything, but we're good enough.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to change that.
I'm glad. I'm glad, though. I really am. And you heard it here first, I think. I don't know.
Yeah. Exclusive
on the Entrepreneurial Truth podcast. But you have been such a positive influence. You know what I mean? And we've talked, we've had discussions, we've messaged back and forth, and I know that you truly do want to help people. I know that's your heart. And I know that you want to set people free. I think that's one of the biggest things inside of you.
Yep.
You want to set people free from limiting beliefs, from things that happened in the past, from all these things that easily set us back.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, this person right here is a wonderful person. She's very open. She reads people really well, which is really good. No, that's really good because it's helpful. It doesn't take you 3 days to get to a point. You know, it's like Maya will tell you the way it is, like right now.
Yeah.
She does too. So, tell us a little bit more where we can find your group. Your group's on Facebook, and where we can find your hypnosis therapy and those things. Do you have websites, or how do we find you?
Well, I have the website as www.emotionalhealthmentor.com.
Okay, and what we're going to do for you guys is you should see it in the description of this YouTube video. You should see that link down below, and click on that link for me so that you can go in and experience this with Maya, because I really believe in this. I really do. It's very helpful. So I just wanted to let everybody know that that's listening.
Yeah. And the group is the Good Enough Entrepreneur Connection for now.
For now. And for now, it's not in the title, just so you know. And we're going to leave a link to the Facebook group as well. So that all you have to do is you go down and you read through the bio, and then right underneath there will be links for Maya, and you'll be able to see all those things down there so that you can get to those easily. And not have to remember www. all this stuff. So we'll take care of that for you.
Yeah. Well, think about emotionalhealthmentor.com.
Emotionalhealthmentor.com.
Yeah. And it's a good time to join the group now in December, because I'm still charging less because I want to be the Santa Claus of your emotions.
All right, Santa.
So, and I want to be a catalyst for your new year,
Get it off to a good start.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then January,
start.
I'm taking off.
Skyrocket in January.
Yeah.
2020 vision, folks. It's been a wonderful show. Maya, is there anything else you want to tell them out there before we go?
No, I'm set. I'm cool. Thank you so very much for having me.
She's cool. Really cool. She is, though. All right, everybody. It's been a fun show this week. We learned a lot, I think, about our emotions and about the things that, are inside of us that we need to check. And I appreciate everybody that's out there. Appreciate you watching and listening and participating. And we appreciate you. And we
Thank
will
you.
see you next week or next day or
Yay.
whatever day this comes out. I mean, I'm so confused now because I'm putting them out almost every day now. But anyway, click the link, click the subscribe button below for me if you can, if you haven't subscribed to the channel. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a good night.